You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on Newstalk 980.
Irv, good to see you again. How have you been?
Fantastic, Dave.
Nice to roll into spring, isn't it?
It is, and we got lots of pavement showing. Snow's still here, but lots of pavement showing.
Always
Weather's
good.
great. Market's great. Spring's great. Everything's terrific, Dave.
Let's talk a bit about the markets. Let's talk about March. Now, I did see an article. Big headline, home sales down in March for the city of Regina. Doom and gloom, I thought we were in a pretty good market.
Well, I don't like it when the home sales were down in March. That's the poor part. The good part is that they were up for me. That's the good part. They were down a bit. They were down a bit from last year. They were down around 10% from last year. The great news is that they were up 10% in prices. Their average price was $275,000 or something like that. So that part's very good. 10% increase. That's kind of nice money if you bought a house last year.
Well, I was going to say
10%.
that's kind of ahead of the projections. What we were hearing a year ago, it was probably more moderate, 5 to 6, but kind of year to year for the month. That's not bad at all when you look over.
I always wonder why more people don't invest in real estate, because those are pretty nice increases.
Yeah,
right.
But a lot of times people don't know what they're doing.
Oh.
I mean, really nice, well-intentioned people, but sometimes perhaps they're taking things on their own when they shouldn't.
Yeah, if they can interview an agent who does that. Not all agents do that. Who will search out investment property for you and guide you. That's great, and you can make some nice money in investing in real estate, and more people should be doing it in this country.
Let's talk a little bit about the numbers again.
Sure.
You had a great month.
Fantastic month.
Okay. How'd you do?
How do I do it?
How did you do it, and how many homes did you sell?
Well, I sold 12 homes in the month of March.
In March?
March, sure.
What's an average agent sell in a year?
16, 17 in a year. The average agent, I looked at several companies the first quarter, for the first quarter this year. I looked at those numbers yesterday, and the average agent sold around 4 properties. And that was looking through several companies, so it wasn't just one company or anything. So the average agent sold about 4 properties this quarter.
This quarter, and you're talking about 12 in March.
I think we sold 5 in 1 week. From a Thursday to a Sunday, I think we sold 5.
Just had nothing else to do, so you figured just go and sell a bunch of houses.
Well, that's what the seller wants. So
it's always a nice touch, isn't it?
It is good.
How do you do it? I mean, what makes you so successful when you compare to the industry average?
Well, you always like to put me on the spot, when you ask me these questions. It's pretty simple. And if I look at those sales, they were made up. They were made up of a variety of things that I did to get those clients. And those were, of the 12 sales, 11 were listings and 1 was a buyer. So it was quite a variety. And so I'll give you a great example. We're in an era where agents like to go out and they talk to sellers about, I'm going to have an award-winning website. And yes, that's nice. Does it really sell property? Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to put an ad in the paper, and I'm going to have a public open house, and then I'm going to have realtors open and that kind of thing. I do things kind of the old way. How you are going to get buyers and sellers is to talk to as many people as you can every day about real estate and ask them if they're buying or selling, or they know somebody buying or selling. I get on the phone, that's my job, and people hold me to it, at 8:30 in the morning. And I've been doing this for a long time, but 8:30 to 11 o'clock, I like to talk to buyers and sellers and agents. And I'll give you an example that it does work. I run around the office and go into the office in the afternoon, and I see agents they're looking up stats and they're looking at the computer and they're not talking to anybody. That computer is not going to buy property from you. Mm-hmm. You have to talk to people. So I made a call to actually a school teacher of mine Now, that's a long time ago. I made a call, and I called this school teacher. They're on my sphere of influence list. I called them every year for the last 20 years and talk real estate with this ex-school teacher of mine. I asked for referrals, keep them abreast of the market, and I made a regular call. I had done a mail out about investment property. I followed up. And that school teacher said, we've been thinking about a condo, and we haven't bothered you, and we've been out to open house. We haven't seen anything we liked. Key thing is that I pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. And I says, well, I've got a great condo in Marion Gardens. It's great. Oh, well, we never see any there that we'd like, and they face the wrong way, and we've just never seen. I said, well, this is a great one. Faces the right way. It's perfect for you. Back's actually a schoolyard.
Well, deja vu.
And east. and east facing, nice sunlight. Why don't I show it to you? Showed it to him. Sold it to him and his wife. Now, my seller doesn't know what I do behind the scenes, but I'm calling and talking to people about their property. And it's not about the pictures of the property. It's not about the angle of the picture, and it's not about describing the light fixture in the kitchen. It's getting on the phone, creating interest, whether it be with a buyer or with an agent in your properties and getting your showings. So that's a very good example. The other properties that I sold were made up of people that had phoned me because of this radio show, and they listen to me and they like what they hear, that I go out and work, and that it sounds like I know what I'm doing, I guess. And so
well, the numbers show that you know what you're doing. Right?
Well, and so some of those were radio show calls. Some were past clients. There were a couple referrals from past clients, and I believe there were 2 expired listings that they had called me and said, we didn't have success with our last agent. Could you come out and talk to us about what you might do differently than our last agent? And both of those properties I sold, I think, within 10 days. And the one I got multiple offers on. And we didn't change very much. We changed a couple things in that listing. And when we look at those 12 sales, what's incredible is 7 of them, and we talked about this on the show last week or the week before, we talked about for sale by owners, and we talked about them not having the ability to create an auction effect, and top agents can do it. Did we create auction effect in those listings? Of the 12 sales, 7 of them, I got the seller multiple offers.
Wow.
7 out of 12.
And this is, again, because you have access to the best buyers. You have access to other agents. And when I look at some of the challenges, and we've talked about this before, the for sale by owners, and the tough road that they face, and this is an example of the type of thing that they don't have the resources, they don't have the experience, they don't have the connectivity that you do, that you can go out and work like this for a seller.
Well, and what's interesting is I created the auction effect in 7 of the 12 listings, but not at a reduced price, at top dollar. Almost all of those, possibly all of them, were record-setting prices.
Wow.
So I would challenge a for sale by owner to show me that they can do the same thing I can. And what's interesting, if you read the article that was in the paper, the listings that sold in March sold for 97% of asking price. That rarely happens with for sale by owners because they don't know what's going on, and the first thing they do in the first week or 2 weeks, they don't know what happened to the buyers. They drop their price.
And they're leaving money on the table.
They are.
Irv, we need to take a quick break. Stay with me through the break.
Absolutely.
Website for Irv Tremblay, by the way. Again, this is a great resource for you. You can take a look at it, www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells.ca. Or you can give Irv a call, 790-3753, 790-3753. Back with more. We'll help you turn the key inside real estate with Irv Tremblay from Century 21.
On Newstalk 980.